Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong, and here I like to talk about luxury beauty. Today we are taking a look at the 3 new limited edition satin matte lipsticks from Tom Ford. And these lipsticks have come out as sort of a complement to the 3 new rose fragrances from Tom Ford. So the fragrances are first and foremost part of their launch, and these are kind of like an addendum to the launch. So they have the same names as the fragrances. These do not have the scent of the fragrances. The fragrance in the lipsticks are the same as the other Tom Ford lipsticks, like the regular satin lipsticks and so forth. They all kind of have the same scent. That's what you smell with these as well. This is limited edition packaging. You can see that they are very sleek. A traditional Tom Ford lipstick is going to be this size here. This is the traditional brown and gold. We have the TF logo on top. Notice this is going to be black and white. And we do have a click closure, and the shape of the bullet is going to be round. And this one here is 53 Rose d'Amalfi. All 3 of these are made in Italy, and they are 3.3 grams. So this here is 1 layer versus 3 layers of Rose d'Amalfi. And, this is a really beautiful kind of nude rose with warm tones to it. So it's not overly warm, but there is a little bit of warmth to this. Next up, we have number 54, which is Rose de Chine. And this one here is going to be a little bit warmer. It's also a little bit more pink. So it's more of like a warmer salmon pink in a way, but it's deeper than a traditional salmon pink. You've got more red in there, a little bit of orange kind of mixed in there, and it's going to be a warm tone medium rose. And the third shade is what's on my lips right now. This is 55 Rose de Russie. So here again, we've got 1 versus 3 swatches for each of the 3 shades. And these are all limited edition shades. Now, this is the first time I've tried the satin matte formula from Tom Ford. And I have to say, I actually really like it. I have been testing it out. And one of the first ingredients on here, well, actually like the first ingredient is dimethicone, but pretty high up on the list, we have both dimethicone and vinyl. And you can really feel both of those in this formula. So it goes on very smoothly, very silky on the lips, and it doesn't completely dry down like a traditional matte. You always have a little bit of satin sheen on the lips. You can see it's like a muted satin. It's not super sheeny or anything, but it doesn't completely dry down on the lips. Instead, you're kind of left with a vinyl texture on your lips, like you would get from like a vinyl lip stain or something. Pigmentation wise, they actually last fairly well. Rose d'Amalfi is the one I've tested the most, and I have to say that the pigmentation definitely fades enough to the point where it's like you can barely see it on your lips after like 5 hours or so, and after like eating and drinking and so forth. The pigment is still there, but you don't see too much. However, I have to say that you can still feel some of that vinyl texture on your lips as it has kind of worn off. So it actually remains very comfortable, and it's not like it's moisturizing per se on the lips, but you have that slip and that give on your lips, so they definitely feel like supple. And so I think it's a very, very, very nice formula. Really enjoying the formula for these a lot. And if you are working with one of the deeper shades and you let that fade to a pigment, the pigment sticks around for a while. Again, you can revitalize that with like a clear lip gloss or clear lip balm if you don't want to reapply, and it works just the same as that. So longevity on these, I would say they last slightly longer than a satin lipstick, but not as long as a traditional matte lipstick. So I give a traditional satin lipstick about 4 hours, and I would give these closer to 5, maybe 5 to 6. So that's kind of where we are on the lasting ability of these. We're going to take a look at some comparison lipsticks. First, we're starting off with Lisa Eldridge. This is Velvet Affair. I'm just going to put a little dab of that right up here so you can kind of see. Velvet Affair is going to be more brown. But I think depth of color-wise, they are pretty similar. This is definitely going to be more brown and warmer in tone than Rose d'Amalfi. This one here is Velvet Intrigue. Mine's broken, so I'm going to have to be kind of careful there. This is going to be a peachier shade, and actually on the lips, this ends up looking milkier than the Tom Ford does. And another one that I wanted to compare for the light ones here is Velvet Fawn, which again is going to be a little bit more nude, more brown than Rose d'Amalfi. This one here is Velvet Muse. And you can see that this one is going to be more, let's make that a little bit bigger. You can see it's going to be a little bit more blue toned than the Rose de Chine, which is going to be warmer in tone. And this is just a little bit more mauve. This one here is Velvet Blush. This one's broken too, so I'm trying to be careful there. You can see this one's going to be a lot deeper, a lot rosier, not nearly as vibrant as the Rose de Russie. Let's take a look though at Myth with that one right here. And this is my closest with Lisa Eldridge, but you can see that this Lisa Eldridge is going to be more pigmented. It doesn't get quite as sheer or bright. The brightest shade from Lisa Eldridge is Velvet Carnival. And let's put that down here. You can see that this is much more of a vibrant pink. It doesn't have as much of those berry tones. So the Rose de Russie is kind of a combination of Velvet Myth and Velvet Carnival, in my opinion. And just a few more comparisons. This is a Chanel Velvet Extreme, or Rouge Allure Velvet Extreme. This is in number 118, Eternal. I'm gonna put that right here. That's pinker than I thought. That actually goes a little bit better with Rose de Chine, but you can see Rose de Chine is still gonna be warmer in tone. Couple Givenchy Le Rouge Deep Velvets. This is 14 Rose Boise. Let's put that right here. And you can see this is going to be more purple. It does not get as vibrant, and it's not quite as pink as the Rose de Russie. And we have 10 Beige New, one of my very, very favorite lipsticks of all. So there's that. And you can see it's going to be lighter and a little more nude, but lighter and softer in pigmentation than the Rose d'Amalfi, but they're very close. So yeah, I have to say I like both colors. This is going to be more similar to one sheer layer of Rose d'Amalfi. And then one of the Chanel Rouge Allure Velvets in the La Comete collection. This is 168 Pourpre Etoile. This is going to be more purple based, but you know what? It's still pretty close here. There's more purple, a little bit less pink. You've got more of those pink undertones in Rose de Russie, but they are pretty close. So I think that's actually a very good comparison there. You know, it's definitely like if you look at one sheer layer, you definitely are going to notice a lot more of the pink than you do in the La Comete lipstick, but very, very close shades. And then we have a couple Burberry Kisses lipsticks. So this is a satin formula, but we have 16 Deep English Rose, and we're going to put that one right here. And that's going to be closest to Rose d'Amalfi. You can see that they're pretty close. This is going to be a little bit lighter and a little bit peachier than the Rose d'Amalfi. And then we also have 14 Delicate Rose. And let's see, where can we put this one? Kind of running out of space over here. Yeah, it's going to be too peach. So those are the closest comparisons I have for these Tom Ford Satin Matte lipsticks. Formula-wise, I think that they are very, very comfortable on the lips. I really like the finish on them. They actually remind me more of something like the Suku Fog liquid lipsticks because of the way that they dry down. So they never completely dry down. They never like feel just like a stain on your lips. You always have a little bit of that vinyl texture like you get with a liquid lip product. So they go on like a lipstick, they feel like a lipstick, but then once they dry down or fade away and so forth, then they feel like you have the residue of a liquid lipstick, if that makes sense. And not just any liquid lipstick, it has to be one of those vinyl containing liquid lipsticks like the Suku liquid fogs. So these here, I just show you one of these here. So this one here is 103, one of my favorites. But the texture of these on the lips is going to feel very similarly after they've both been on for a couple of hours. Something like the YSL vinyl lip stain, you know, any of those like vinyl lip products, they're going to have a very similar texture after several hours. So final thoughts on these lipsticks. For me, they are a win. I really like them. I think the packaging is very chic. I love the white and black. I like having the thinner bullet tube here. I find them to be very comfortable on the lips. I like the color saturation. They're pretty saturated with just one layer, and then you can build them up a little bit more. And I just find them to be really comfortable feeling on the lips, and I just enjoy wearing them. So for me, I think these are a win, and hopefully they'll bring out more shades in, you know, like this in the future. I really like this particular packaging, so I think that's a plus as well. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please let me know what you think of these, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section, and I'll see you very soon. So have a great day and stay safe and healthy.